Is the left starting to go partial or full QAnon? Blue Anon, if you will. That is what some are asking right now, because election-related conspiracies are starting to become popular among Democrats who are still reeling from Kamala Harris's loss. The thing is, just like we saw in 2020, there are a lot of different theories, but the most important thing to note is that before diving into this whole thing, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency have already said, we have no evidence of any malicious activity that had a material impact on the security or integrity of our election infrastructure. But as far as what some are flagging as suspicious, you have one thing being voter turnout this year compared to 2020, or with people saying that in 2020, Biden got 81 million votes to Trump's 74 million. But now this year, and keep in mind, votes are still coming in, it shows Trump at 75 million and Kamala at just 71. It's currently a drop of around 10 million Democratic votes. And so you have people saying, millions of votes, quote, don't disappear on their own. Or writing things like, if anyone could fund a massive election fraud scheme, it's Elon Musk. He also has motive. But the thing is, the 2024 vote tally that people are using only reflects the votes so far. Like, yes, we have enough to know whether Trump won the presidency, but ballots are still being counted. And in the end, you have the AP right now estimating that the number of votes cast will only actually be around 700,000 less than in 2020. With Steve Kornacki, for example, also breaking it down on NBC News' TikTok.
There's still a lot to come here. So you're adding those two numbers together and you're saying it's a lot less than 20. Well, keep in mind, gigantic states like California, there's millions more votes to come in from California. Washington, too. There's more coming in from Illinois, all across the country. By the end of this, there's probably going to be a turnout about 10 million or so more than what you're seeing right here.
And even with all that aside, voter turnout fluctuates cycle to cycle anyways. And these are also fact checks that the conservatives should keep in mind as well, because tons of people on that side have also been using preliminary voter turnout data to try to prove that the 2020 election was stolen, that millions of votes then must have been fake, but no. Or the numbers people have been using and what 2024's turnout is expected to grow to is a significant difference. Also, another big conspiracy theory that people have been throwing out there has to do with Elon Musk's Starlink, with some claiming here that the Starlink internet provider manipulated vote counts. But as PolitiFact noted, major swing states like Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, the list goes on, they have protocols ensuring that voting equipment is never connected to the internet during ballot tabulation. And just kind of generally speaking, voting machines usually are not internet connected anyways. With the outlet also adding, even if Starlink had somehow been used to modify the vote count, there are systems designed to catch tabulation discrepancies. And PolitiFact finding little evidence that Starlink was widely used in elections in the first place. Also with this, it's worth noting that there are some differences in the misinformation we saw this election compared to last. In 2020 and even this year, Republicans were really setting the stage to call for fraud, though after their victory, their fraud concerns just somehow disappeared. Also, a big difference is with 2024, it's largely just civilians online spreading theories and not politicians, right? Like when you had Trump, people in his administration and elected members of his party claiming it was rigged. But so far, I haven't seen Kamala Harris out there holding a press conference at a landscaping company demanding a recount, which is also why you have a ton of people on the left saying, just stop before it gets too deep. People like activist Olivia Juliana saying, the election wasn't stolen, we lost, you sound insane, stop it. And the likes of Hassan Piker also reacting to a bunch of the theories and saying,
these people are doing the same exact that Republicans do, which is not understanding a process. And then because of your own personal inability of understanding how this like regular process works, you are now imagining like an alternate scenario.
And personally, I will say there are a number of people out there that have me concerned right now. And if anything, it's given me, and it feels weird saying it because a lot of those people are just would say horrible things to me right now. It gives me a lot of empathy and more understanding for people who believed election lies back in 2020. Like imagine being shocked by the result. You're like, but I saw the rallies. There were so many people there. There was so much energy. Everyone around me thinks like I do. The election was obviously stolen. And then rather than being given time to go, oh, well, no, the world is not my bubble. The vote went a different way. The politician you support goes, no, it was stolen. How fast would so many people flock to that? Because they want to think that's true. That's the only way that everything makes sense. I mean, like I saw huge viral posts of like people in their bed going, did you see AOC, what she said in that video? They're dropping something huge tomorrow, get ready. And a lot of people are just misconstruing things that she's saying. We'll see how things play out from here. Does it involve an increasing number of people going down conspiracy holes, or is this something that's kind of short-lived? It's people in their bargaining stage of grief and or the denial part. But also, hey, with all of that said, I gotta pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts here? Hey, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this clip from the full Philip DeFranco show. And also, a big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring our Clips channel. Turn your passion into profit over at squarespace.com/Phil, or use the QR code. Because whether you're launching a business or a lucrative side hustle, your website is your digital business card. It's the only space where you control the story, no algorithms or distractions. And with Squarespace, it's so easy because they got a ton of stunning professional templates with drag and drop editing that makes site design incredibly simple. No coding required. So get started for free at squarespace.com/Phil, or scan the QR code on screen and use code Phil for 10% off when ready to launch. Squarespace.com/Phil.